Ek gesels vanoggend met Professor Yonas Bahta en hy is van die Universiteit van die Vrystaat. Professor, welcome to GROOTplaas.
Thank you for having me.
I love having you here. Let's talk about your study. Tell me about this recent study that you did. What does it all entail?
Okay, the recent study focused on the resilience of household in Northern Cape province of South Africa. It's focused on smallholder livestock farmer. The project was funded by NRF, and the research done. People registered to get assistance from local government. 868 farmers registered to get assistance in the form of feed, medication, input, and consultations and others. And we interview and research 207 smallholder farmers with the objective of, one, to assess the resilience of agricultural drought resilience. The second one, to assess factors affecting the resilience and food insecurity. The third one also to assess the impact of agricultural drought resilience on welfare of smallholder livestock farmers. The result indicates that only 9% of smallholder farmers are resilient. The rest, 91%, they are not resilient. And as also we found that socio-economic, economic, and policy intervention have an impact on socioeconomic on resilience. When you say that one, smallholder farmers receive as credit, smallholder farmers receive assistance from the government, and smallholder farmers involved in welfare, in network and cooperative, more resilient than people not participating on all these activities. The second result, we found that economic capital, social capital, human capital, physical capital, and natural capital have an impact on food security, an impact on welfare, and asset, adaptive capacity, and social safety net have an impact on food security. Okay.
Professor, what does it mean, the term to be drought resilient? What does that mean in real life, on a farm? What does that look like?
That means it's bouncing back from different adversity. In this case, only agricultural resilience, but currently we face a lot of things. Increased fuel price, the currently Russia and Ukraine war, macroeconomic policies, and recently also face COVID. There's government implementing different policy like COVID voucher. So in order to resist and bounce back, must be resilience. If resilience, it will be out of the business. So resilience is very important.
Now, what are some of the factors that contribute to this percentages, this 90% of farmers not being drought resilient? What are some of the factors that contribute to this?
There is a lot of factors. The main thing is resource. When you say resource, for example, lack of access to credit. So smallholder farmers, they don't have any collateral to get from loan from bank. So this access of credit is very important. So most of the farmers, especially from the one interviewed 207, 50% of them, they use money from saving and from family for daily operation. 47% of use their salary and doing odd job. Only 3% of them, they have access to sources or credit from different sources, not necessarily from bank. So the other factor is access to water and access to water right and licenses. The burning issue in South Africa, being the fact that also South Africa is the driest country, water is very important to impact resilience. The other one also, the burning issue in South Africa now, access to land. So smallholder farmers, they don't have the right to use land. So from our study, only 52% of the land is communal land, 26% of the land is rental land, and 20% customary land. Only smallholder farmer, 2% of them, the rest have land. So land is a burning issue. In general, the lack of economic, social, human, physical, and natural capital, the main cause of this increase of non-resilience.
So if we take it to South Africa, why would you say it is important for a smallholder livestock farmer to put things in place to make sure that they are drought resilient, taking into account all the factors?
Yes, to be resilient, all the farmers is necessary to have drought relief or other government intervention when the drought strike. But relying on the government also is not good enough and is not sustainable. From the study, we find only 56% of the farmers from 270 have, in some extent, helped them to stand resilience. But this is not good enough to retain what they were before the drought. So the main things, the government and other stakeholders must strengthen social network and cooperatives. Other things also very important, this human capital, by educating extension officers regarding to economic and financial performance to teach the farmers and to increase their economic, as a result will be resilience. The other things also, government should give access specifically this land and credit is very important to keep them the business.
Professor, if you are an academic and if you take this theme, drought resilient, the readiness of smallholder livestock farms, how do we in South Africa compare worldwide with farmers worldwide? Other situations, other scenarios, how do we compare?
Yes, when you compare to other countries, it's challenging. When you say that one, this agricultural drought in South Africa, especially 2015-16, is the worst drought in the last 100 years. So the policy intervention there, but government doesn't give them this drought relief. They must give them on time, but mostly it happens is delaying. So in some districts also, they wait until the government declares that area or municipality is a disaster area. So if the policy intervention coming on time and giving on time without delay, it will be better to mitigate some of the effects or consequences.
I'm thinking now, how can a smallholder livestock farmer, how would he or she know if they are drought resilient? What are some of the practical stuff? How would they know?
Okay, it's difficult to say that one, but we are talking about smallholder farmers. It's difficult to be 100% resilient, but in order to say to resilience, they must have some coping mechanism. For example, when the drought comes, they have enough resource to cope them. And when drought coming also does relied only on government. And the other things also, does they have enough for social network? Does they have human capacity also? Does they have of natural capacity land? All of them, if they are on place, we call them resilience. But when you see this one, we talk about smallholder farmers. Technically, smallholder farmers, they have a lot of challenge. So if they are not depending on government, on drought strike, if you have the all resource base, we'll call them resilience,
But I'm going to take it a little bit further. What are some of the first steps to be taken to become drought resilient? Is there an audit of the farm that's got to be taken? Practically, some of the first steps to be taken.
Yes, to be drought resilient, first of all, they mustn't rely on government assistance. When I say that one, government assistance in or drought relief, it helps to some extent, but it's not good enough and also not a long-term solution to be resilient. But the first step should be the government or different policymakers must strengthen social network, very important. By establishing a social network or by strengthening the existing social network, by improving a cooperative, the farmer will be, this will be a first step. The second step also, the extension officers, they must increase their human capacity by especially economic and financial management skills in order to transfer to the farmers. The other also economic capital, when you say to access of resource and especially credits must be available. In the me is currently South Africa a burning issue, water right and water license, and also the land issue is a very burning issue. So if these all things going step by step, they will be in a good position. But even if difficult to control nature,
Yes, the value of your study. What would you like the value to be? The change it would bring?
The value is very important because we are academician. When you write this or academic paper is not good enough. We must publish in the form of popular to reach all farmers audience in Afrikaans and in English. Also, all our publication must be published in the form of policy brief for government officials. So the government officials must listen to us and to implement the policy to enhance the resilience. Currently, in 2019, we attend AFASA, the Livestock Association in Africa, in Berkeley, and we present our paper there. That is necessary to create such a platform to disseminate all the studies to the farmers and the policy maker in form of popular and policy brief. That will be very crucial to implement our study and to enhance the resilience of the farmers. Not only that one. Also, our study focus on Northern Cape, but it must be the study to expand as a province by incorporating livestock and crop farmers, including commercial farmers.
That's wonderful. Professor, thank you so much for your time and thanks for the study. I hope you have a great day.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Dankie dat jy ingeskakel het. Nou ek weet die groot ontbytspan wag vir jou. Hulle gaan jou groet om 6:00. Ek hoop jy het 'n goeie dag en onthou om elke oggend om 5:30 net hierin te skakel. Grootplaas, ek doen moeite en ek sal graag die goeie landbounuus met jou wil deel. So stuur gerus vir ons 'n e-pos by grootplaas@grootfm.co.za. Ek neem mekaar môre weer. Totsiens.